6:13. Welcome back to Denver 7. Son of a nutcracker. We are a week away from Thanksgiving, and it is in the low 30s, finally. This is a look from C470 and I-25 this morning. 2 CU police officers were justified when they shot a man who was armed with a machete. The Boulder DA made that decision yesterday. The shooting happened on the CU Boulder campus last month. According to police reports, the 2 officers shot the suspect 15 times. Still not clear why the man with the machete was on campus in the first place.
And from the First Alert Deck now, mumps outbreaks on several college campuses have officials concerned this morning. The University of Missouri just announced they've had 31 confirmed cases on their campus there and an additional 27 probable cases of people who had close contact with the patients. University of Central Arkansas also reporting 4 cases, and in Boston, Tufts University reporting 9 cases recently. Now, mumps have been on the rise nationally this year. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says more than 2,300 cases of mumps have been reported in the last month. That's more than twice as many as last year at this time.
Breaking overnight, a gas explosion kills 1 person and destroys several buildings in Illinois, just a couple of hours west of Chicago. The windows were blown out on buildings within a 3-mile radius. Dozens of people have been forced to evacuate, and it is not clear when they can return home. Police are investigating what set off that explosion. And 1 person remains in critical condition after a deadly house fire back here at home in Aurora. We first brought you this story yesterday during Good Morning America.
1 person was killed in that fire. 2nd person was rushed to the hospital. They have not been identified. We spoke to one Good Samaritan who ran inside that burning home trying to save the people inside.
He told me to save his wife. I went in. I couldn't do nothing to smoke. I couldn't breathe.
Well, the fire was so big, it caused severe damage to nearby homes. The cause, we're now under investigation.
So the dry, windy conditions helped fuel this brush fire yesterday, just a few miles away from DIA. 3 people were injured in the fire. It started at about noon, but crews were still mopping up hot spots long after sunset just to be safe. Several buildings were destroyed. About 50 acres were burned. That wind yesterday, Lisa warned us about, and that can be the result.
And the wind bringing in some of our colder temperatures.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we're still going to see some high fire danger across southern Colorado. Not a lot of moisture for spots like the Springs, Pueblo, Lamar, so they're still looking at red flag warnings today. We're going to get a little something here, though, and the winds are shifting now. You can see how much cloud cover we have out east. This is our Viero camera there near Sterling. Clouds streaming in this morning. With the system now moving into the state, we're going to see here within the next few hours more snow for the mountains. It is really dry up along I-70 right now, but that's what it looks like by 11 o'clock. We're still pretty dry here in Denver by that point, but within another hour or 2 after that, right around 12 to 12:30, we have a rain-snow mix moving in over I-25, and then a chance for some snow showers through the evening commute. That's what it looks like at 6 o'clock tonight. So not only will it be dark at that point, we could be looking at some snow accumulating mainly on the grass. Could make for some slushy conditions in a few spots, especially up along 76 and heading towards Sterling. Then skies clear, and tonight we're going to see some cold conditions. Tomorrow morning, we're talking teens and 20s. Early Friday morning. So as far as our alerts go, we do have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories for the mountains. Some of the heaviest snow is going to be across our northwestern mountains. Also, those mountains surrounding Aspen could be at about 5 to 10 inches by tonight and tomorrow morning. Denver and the plains, likely about a trace to 2 inches. A lot of it, again, is going to be hard to measure because the ground is so warm, and we'll get a lot of it melting on impact. 30s right now will be in the low to mid 40s by about 10 to 12. So we hit our high a couple of degrees earlier today, or a couple of hours earlier today, but it's going to be about 40 degrees cooler than yesterday. Yesterday it was a record-breaking high of 80. What a change. Tonight we're in the 30s, and then eventually tomorrow morning dropping into the 20s. I'll give you a better idea of our overnight lows coming up here in just a few minutes. Inglewood 44 today, Broomfield a high of 42, and in Centennial 42. This is going to be the coldest day of the season as our temperatures drop close to that 40-degree mark. Again, still pretty mild near Pueblo and Lamar, but also really dry, and our winds are going to remain gusty here for the next couple of days. As skies clear tomorrow, it's going to be sunny but cold, upper 30s to near 40. Look at those overnight lows, Jason. Early Saturday morning, teens, but then we're at 63 by Sunday.
And look straight down on this accident. Another one almost every day for like the last 3 weeks. An accident on I-25 up north.
What a mess.
There you go. This is the southbound side. Now, this is the ramp lane that would go to 84th Avenue. So you see the 1, 2, 3 lanes and then the express lane right there that are all open. And actually, traffic's flowing fairly well past the accident. But when the police get there, they're going to hopefully ask them to move. But you can see some damage to this white car. See how the hood's crumpled up a little bit? So hopefully he's able to drive it off and they can move it all the way off the highway. We'll see how that plays out. Take a look at the drive up that way, and you see some slow traffic up there. 270, I-76, typical spots for us. The rest of the ride around town looks okay. Air Tracker 7's not too far from I-25 at Colorado Boulevard. The northbound and southbound side right at Colorado Boulevard looking pretty nice, at least for right now on this morning's drive.
So far. All right, so from the roads, we're going to take you to the skies. Come check this out. Pretty hard landing. This is by this hot air balloon. This was in Philadelphia yesterday, so it's cruising down. Oh, there the guy kind of skids along, and then it almost like it's trying to go back up. You can see the guy working feverishly in there trying to get that thing down, and if you wait just a second, he starts to come back down, and then all kinds of people run in to try to help him out. So when it was all over, no one was injured, fortunately. This balloon was being used as kind of this advertisement that was going on for Home Depot. So now the FAA is looking into this. But again, no injuries, Dale.
Well, we heard from a lot of people who saw a plane circling the skies over Denver yesterday. Our investigators were able to dig up some information. Its flight's name is Iron 99, which we believe is a military plane, and it appears to have been headed from California to Oklahoma. Now, we called every local air authority you can think of. None of them were able to give us any concrete information. Even Buckley Air Force Base told us something strange. Well, this plane never checked in with the towers there, even though they flew through the base's airspace. We may learn more today, so download our free Denver 7 app for any updates.
Top secret.
Very top secret.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Well, Douglas County launches a new program to help law enforcement officials deal with domestic violence calls, and they say this will prevent murders.
Because over the last year, Denver 7 has covered 3 high-profile murder cases in Douglas County, all of them starting with a domestic violence call. So now the officers are being trained to give these assessments. They're going to ask 11 questions to victims of domestic violence. At the end of the 11-question test, officers can tell if there is a high chance of violence.
It doesn't exist to help prosecution. It doesn't exist to increase penalties against anyone. It exists, in essence, to cut down on the number of cases that my office prosecutes.
There is proof that the new program is working. Douglas County officers have given the test 128 times. That is just since August. More than half of the victims were at serious risk.
6:20 now. A recall in the pasta aisle. Your grated cheese could be contaminated with salmonella. Find out which products to watch out for.
And right now at 6:20, as we head to break, we want to give you a live look outside. Nice and quiet and dry right now, but that is going to change this afternoon. Lisa's got all your details.